When we moved into that 3-bedroom house, I was only 3 years old. Mom decorated my brother's and my room with lots of toys, a bunk bed, colorful carpets, toy cars, and building blocks. It was supposed to be a cozy place. But just before we officially moved in, Mom found a black stain on the carpet, like dried blood. It also seemed like something rotten had seeped into the fibers. She scrubbed hard, and the stain faded, but didn't completely disappear. My brother, who was 5 and brave, moved in first. I was too young and still slept in my parents' room. But on the first night, he woke up screaming, trembling all over, saying a ghost was trying to strangle him. Mom held him and comforted him. She took him back to our room to sleep, then returned to turn off the light. The moment the light went out, she was stunned. The black stain had returned. Even more terrifying was the suffocating sense of oppression in the room, as if something was standing in the darkness, silently warning not to enter. Mom immediately closed the door, and the next day, she moved all our toys out. Since then, no one has entered that room again, but that thing started to become more active. Every night at 10:30, footsteps would start to sound slow and heavy, as if someone was pacing in the room. The door was clearly closed, yet we could all hear it. Sometimes, it would even walk into the hallway and stop in front of our door. My brother and I joked about the house being haunted, but deep down, we both knew it wasn't a joke. One day, our friend came over for a sleepover and insisted on sleeping in the haunted bedroom. Mom warned him, but he didn't believe it. The sun was shining brightly that day, so Mom decided to try cleaning the room again. She opened the window to let fresh air in, and even knelt down to scrub the black stain vigorously. But the stain seemed to be ingrained in the floor and wouldn't come off. I ran in with my toys to play, feeling the warm sunlight on me. But suddenly, a sharp pain exploded from my back, and I screamed, bending over, as if an invisible hand had gripped me tightly. Mom rushed over to try to hold me, but I was in so much pain that I was rolling on the floor, unable to be touched. Dad immediately drove me to the hospital. During the 30-kilometer drive, I writhed in the back seat, as if tormented by some force. But just as the car entered the hospital parking lot, the pain vanished. I sat up, grinning as if nothing had happened. My parents looked at each other, horrified. After that, things got worse. We started seeing a blurry figure, dressed in old clothes, standing at the end of the hallway, and Dad also saw a man. He stared at us with a gloomy expression, then disappeared into the room with the black stain. Once, while playing tag with my younger brother, he ran past that closed door. I was chasing him, but came to a sudden stop at the corner. A dark figure stood in front of the door, no longer a blurry human shape, but a twisted thing with sharp teeth and eyes like 2 black holes. It opened its mouth and hoarsely said, I want a bite. I was scared out of my wits. I turned around and ran, throwing myself into my mother's arms, trembling. The next day, my mother went to talk to the landlord. It turned out that a man had died in that bedroom. He had cancer and was very irritable, especially disliking children. His wife had taken care of him in that room until one day. People found him dead on the floor, surrounded by a large pool of blood. No one knew how he died.